Good evening, everyone, or good afternoon, I should say. Hope the day finds you all well. Came on to drop y'all a little this evening cheer. Yeah, so apparently, what's my man's name? Mr. Franklin James. He's brought about a bit of heat to the, I guess, the Pill Society, the Manosphere, the suspected anti-black woman divester incel section. You know, it's not so much the anti-black racism angle that was considered by the Franklin James character. It's more now that, you know, we need to call the Federal Bureau of Investigations or the CIA to investigate these toxic black males in society. Is that what it is, people? You know, I mean, because a few years ago, I guess when Master Trump was just coming in office, he had the first Attorney General, I think, what's that? I can't remember that. I can't think that white man's name. The one, the white-haired guy that he let go, where he came out with the black identity extremist. I don't know if it was a bill or something of that nature. And Maxine Waters, she stood up and said, "Oh, this cannot pass," on and so forth. Now, there's already in the media where they were talking about the guns and the ghost guns and the gun violence and things that have been occurring. I guess, you know, I guess you can't really deny that these things have been occurring, but we can't deny that these things haven't already been occurring, and they have not, for the most part, been facilitated by males with the same skin color as myself. I don't know. So you say so. Also, we have where now there's protests, and you know we got Benjamin Crump out because another black male has been killed. What's happening, sir? How you doing? All right. What's happening? Yeah, they talking. Yeah, it is. It's pretty out here. Yes, it is.
Some kind of weather. This is the golden weather.
Yes. The sun shining bright and right amount of clouds. Yeah, but they got Benjamin Crump out there. You know, he I guess whenever there's a so-called accident by the police, you know, the ambulance chaser always gonna pop out in the pit. So we got Benjamin Crump out there, and you know this black male. I mean, if I'm thinking about the same thing, he was chased down and he was shot in the back of the head. But there's also parts where I heard where he was fighting with the police. Now, this is when I was a child like in the 70s, 80s, whatever, and there was such a thing like where I guess the society or whatever get to be too much on the psyche of even not even necessarily a black person, but just someone who might have a criminal record or past, or what am I looking for? A criminal personality and a self-destructive personality, where they'll do the things in which they know that are highly risk, and that risk, the highest risk, is your own life. So you might get to a position where you might have to pay the price for all those things that you've done, and that's generally what gets when the laws, the race soldiers, are called upon to tend to that issue that they might have within the greater penitentiary, which is known as the system of white supremacy, a system that is ran by white hegemony, where white people feel as if they are the top tier of society, whether it be a racial caste, an economic class, a social caste, or you know any type of judicial, academic, you know, where they feel as if they're superior, and whether or not is the opinion of the non-white, whether it be black, Chinese, whatever. Whether they may feel that no white man is superior to them, that white person has the system, has the mechanisms in place, whether it be the media, whether it be the aforementioned race soldiers, or whether it be the courts. So we got this man out here. We got two black men. One black man dead because he got killed by the police. You got another man, he pretty much had to turn himself in because of the way. And you don't want to be a conspiracy theorist and things like that, but it's like, okay, this guy, he went down to a subway. He dropped smoke bombs in fireworks. He bought fireworks in another state. He dropped smoke bombs in the subway, and he shot the subway. Luckily, no one died. But he managed to find his way out there, and this is New York City. Post 9/11 New York City, stop and frisk New York City, but it wasn't. They didn't have a drag. They were to drag good old Mr. Franklin in. They had to go and get him. So now that they had to go get him. He had to bring himself down there and turn himself in. So now he turned himself in. Now we scourging media, social media. Now anytime it's like, let's say for example, a race soldier who might kill a unarmed black person, their social media is immediately scourged or whatever, where we can't find nothing about what their personal views or opinions might have been about, let's say, race. Let me turn off my clock. Give me 1 second. Y'all hold it. I'm gonna go out too. All right. Yeah. Let's turn something else on. Okay, this is what I want to do. What's going on, Auntie? What's going on, Linda? What's going on, Holly? What's going on, Alan? Yeah, but to get back to it, so now you have Mr. Franklin James' social media is being searched, and is any other time where it might be a police officer might have killed a black person or some other situation where a white person might have done something of a perceivably anti-black nature, they'll hide their social media. But I guess they claim that they hid some of Mr. James' social media, but yet still a lot of it was able to get out. Enough to the point where now that in the social media space you're hearing, I'm reading posts where women are like, these incels, it's a good thing that the FBI is finally chasing down these black incels. They hate women and this, that, and the third, and they say such negative things online and so on and so forth. Now, like I said a minute ago, I was a child of the 70s and the 80s, and there were all types of characters in my circumference. My auntie's on here, so we have a pretty interesting family of all different types of personalities, and we have all types of opinions with those personalities. And generally, when it came to a point where if it was something that somebody was saying that we was displeased with, and not to hold back on the language, that nigga just talking. He just talking what he talking about. Forget what he talking about. Forget what that nigga talking about. It can no longer be that no more. It cannot be where you just dismiss something that you disagree with. Now we must have some type of crusade, so to speak. But the government watches social media, and never you can't have the in one particular presidency or one particular side, Black Lives Matter, and the police are doing this and this, that, and the third, and then on another presidency, you got one moron that has some social media posts, and it doesn't necessarily mean that his anti-black feminist views had anything to do with him getting on that subway. If he got on the subway and did it, it's still under investigation. They might say, okay, well, this is our suspect, but the person has not been identified who was on the subway. But that's something different. Don't let me get caught up in the conspiracies and y'all throw the FBI on me, which is what I'm saying. Y'all come on here and use social media just like anybody else. Y'all black women or whoever, whatever else. Some of y'all niggas or whatever, y'all on that same shit where y'all feel as if that just because y'all get a little extra policing, that's supposed to be some type of favor or protection for you. They don't give a fuck about who it is. Okay, y'all get it to where, well, now they're scrutinizing the voices who are saying things that you might not like about women, or even though if you come for the men talking shit about the women, you know, eventually, because I read some shit where women are saying some shit like they basically feel as if they have the theory in which they'll be able to get rid of all the men and still be able to live and procreate. I don't know how it may sound unbelievable, but it's for real. And I'm like saying to myself, well, if y'all want to live in a society where there's no black man, or I guess men, period. Let's say, for example, you have a son. What kind of hope? What's the ultimate outcome for the son? But let me stop before I become to sound like a black incel or an identity extremist, where I'm an anti-black female extremist, a racist extremist, because I say something like, well, you know, the Asians, they tend to stick together and separate themselves from other racial and ethnic groups, and they tend to prosper. Or what if I say the red dot Indians, Arabs, they tend to separate themselves into their own individual group, and they tend to prosper, even to the point where they come into this country with the African American, black, Negro, nigger folks, and they prosper in their communities. So, you know, I understand, you know, if we put myself in the shoes, you know, pause of a black woman, where if I read some shit all day about niggas talking shit about a black man, where we're supposed to be the counterparts of the black woman, and we saying all types of negative things about our counterparts, and we're somewhat upholding the virtues of some other race, I can understand where there might be some anger, acrimony, but still, you know, when you sick the dogs on one, you know, this anti-black female cat talking shit, when you sick them folks on one of us, you think they're gonna be able to discern between, you know, the one that hates the women versus the one who might love his mama, love his woman, love his wife, his daughter, whomever? They going after us all. So any reason y'all get to put them people on us, they gonna take advantage of it, and they gonna use it. So with that being said, you know, I just came on here to talk my little shit, man. You know, show all my fade I just did myself. I'm gonna do it just off a kind of fella. You know, sometimes you guys switch it up. My shit was breaking off, but yeah. Peace and love, y'all, man. This man was walking, had his hands up in the air. Still got shot. That woman teaching police courses, and now she done got off, and now she's teaching police courses. Hey, man, that man ran. The cat who got shot, he ran to the danger. You know, sometimes, hey, if you gonna go out, at least go out fighting the police. Don't you can go out like George. If I'm gonna go out, and I'm not saying I'm no. Don't worry about me going at the police. But if I'm gonna go out, then hey, I'm going out tough, so I ain't gonna go out with. Hopefully, I ain't gonna have to go out with a knee on my neck for 8 minutes. It is what it is. Peace and love.